Well, the key driver of cobalt growth right now has to be the electric vehicle market. With the advent of Tesla and frankly every other auto company on the planet transitioning their R&D from traditional gas engine, diesel engines towards electric vehicles, the real push right now is to secure cobalt for lithium-ion batteries. I would say cobalt today is probably where lithium was about 2 years ago. The focus has been on the increasing cobalt content being absorbed by EVs. It's now about 50% of the market of the global supply going into electric vehicles, and we're only at a 1% global vehicle penetration rate. So as you look forward, you can see there's clearly not enough, and the focus now is on we need more, we've got to find more, and for the first time in modern mining history, we miners are being asked to go and find cobalt for cobalt's sake. We're uniquely positioned to respond to the supply side constraints, I suppose, on current cobalt production. We find ourselves in Canada, and we're in a camp that has a history of high-grade cobalt production. We're going back into the town next to a city, coincidentally named Cobalt, Ontario, which has a history as being the largest silver camp in the world, the largest producer in the 1920s and 30s, but since the 1960s has really been forgotten. And so we're going back with a three-way merger that's going to allow us to get our hands around half of this mining district. First Cobalt, Cobalt Tech, and Cobalt One had a shared vision in terms of what we wanted to do for the future, and that's what really got the discussions going. Through the relationships, we started a dialogue, and the biggest challenge by far of any transaction are the social issues. And I think in this particular transaction, the other two companies that are part of this transaction were happy to do what's best for the shareholder and put the companies together with First Cobalt and walk away. Some of them will join our board, others will go on and do other things. So when you can deal with the social issues and not worry about egos and job positions, then you can really focus on the big picture. And the big picture here is consolidating a camp and trying to make that next big discovery. So one of the challenges for financing in the junior space is liquidity. And if the company is not liquid enough, then an institutional investor will have a hard time getting in and more importantly getting out. Part of our success, I think, has been in creating a platform that is very liquid and that does have the scale. The Cobalt Explorers were all coming up and there's about 50 of us. And so we were in a rush to get big fast and attract liquidity and attract the capital of institutional investors. And so we're going to realize on that. I think investors are now giving miners a green light to go ahead and fill that pipeline. Since 2008, it's been a tough exploration climate. We haven't been paid for exploration, and a lot of the majors have slashed their budgets to do just that. So the natural feeder system of juniors being swallowed up by majors, I think is back in play, and we're probably going to see more of that in the next little while. In terms of thinking outside of the box for capital raising, you got to go where the market is hot, I suppose. And in our case, it really stems from China. China is the world leader in electric vehicle production. They're looking not just to the production of the vehicles, they're looking at gigafactories. They look down to the refining, and they've secured supply out of the DRC. And so with that, you've got a very astute investor clientele base out of Hong Kong, and I would say Australia as well. So even though we're listed here in Canada and we're headquartered in Toronto, I've got a very strong investor interest out of Asia, and I think that'll continue to be a strong focus of mine, Asia and Australia going forward. Cobalt is tied inextricably to electric vehicles, and so people can easily see the demand side of the equation and make their own projections. We sit there at 1% global vehicle penetration rate today. You can see what a 10 or a 20% penetration rate might look like. So it makes the story that much easier. People can wrap their heads around the need in the market and why the price has reacted the way it has. And it allows me to just speak specifically to my story and what we're doing to find more.